Hi everyone, Kelsey here with video number 7 of our holiday Christmas extravaganza. As a reminder, this is part of a Christmas themed, project-based, new fabric video series, and I am so excited to show you Tula Pink's Holiday Homies Flannel collection today. Here to help me introduce it is my mom.
Hi everyone, I'm Pat.
Thank you for being here today.
You're welcome.
We have a lot to show you. We've got the quilt behind me. We have this beautiful thing right here. Want to hold up the stocking? For the embroiderers, there's even some embroidery designs, and then things like sleep shorts. So let's go ahead and get started. First, I'd like to share with everybody the story of the Holiday Homies by Tula Pink. Once upon a cold eve, a dog named Buck, a buck named Gus, and a young goose named Ryan threw themselves a party. They invited absolutely everyone. The 3 best friends dressed in their finest Christmas sweaters and welcomed the entire forest into their fashionably appointed yet ruggedly masculine winter cabin. Animals from regions afar and wide made the long trek through the tall pines to enjoy a bit of eggnog and a casual peppermint over a crackling fire and some deeply academic conversation. Needless to say, the party got a little wild, and Gus ended up with half the Christmas tree decorations hanging from his antlers. Ryan gallantly volunteered to play Santa, and Buck sat elegantly reserved in his wingback chair, telling stories from their college days. A jolly time was had by all as the festivities stretched well into the misty morning light. So now that we know the story of the Holiday Homies and we've seen the main print in this wonderful flannel collection, let's go ahead and get started with our first project we're going to highlight, which is the plus sign quilt right behind me. And this one's kind of a funny story. I love this collection, but I was kind of stumped at first with what I was going to do with it. So one night my mom texted me a photo of a plus sign quilt she saw on Pinterest, and I said, yep, that is what we're going to do with it. And what did you say? This fabric is very timeless? And
yes, this fabric to me, this collection is ageless.
Yes.
It's timeless.
Yes.
And what I'm trying to say is that it would be good for a guy, for a girl, for any age, because it's kind of like, especially after that story, I almost feel like if you make this as a gift for somebody, that you should print that story off and put it there in the gift with it, because it just is such a cute story. It just makes you happy and warm and fuzzy, right? Just like the fabric. I love this flannel.
It gave you a greater appreciation right off the bat for the fact that there's a story behind this collection.
Yeah, I can just picture them in that room with a fire going, and I just love it.
I know.
I love this collection. It's just a happy one, isn't it?
Yes, and I love it so much. I'm actually keeping this quilt for myself. And I want to talk to you all a little bit about the fact that there is no pattern. I kind of just looked at a photo and started thinking. And I said right off the bat, okay, those look like 5-inch squares. How can I cut 300 5-inch squares fast?
Right.
And so we sell the AccuQuilt cutting system here, and it's a super fast, super precise system that is 90% faster than using a rotary cutter. So I found the value die, which has the 5-inch square on it, and I'm going to do a little demonstration for you in a little bit about how that works. But I use that machine and cut out my squares so fast, and then started building the plus sign quilt. And if we look, you can see right away that each plus sign is 5 5-inch squares. And it really is like a game of Tetris in that you kind of start filling in and also being very aware of what color you put where. That was the hardest part for me, was I can't put green there. I already have, you know, a lighter shade.
But you know, if you had, it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah, I
mean,
guess not.
They combine. You can agonize over it and spend a lot of time on it, laying it out on the floor, but I think that that might be a little daunting too. So I mean, it works so well together.
So like you said, this project requires a large space. I didn't have a countertop big enough for this, so I did most of my designing on the floor in this case, because you do want to lay it out before you get started.
You want to get an idea of what it looks like. And I think a lot of us work on the floor, honestly.
Yeah.
You need a big area for something, a project like this.
Yeah, so I made some notes as I went along with this, and like I told you earlier, there are 300 5-inch squares in this. I used 14 different fabrics, but I omitted the buffalo plaids that come in this collection because I didn't want to spend too much time fussy placing stripes, but I did use the plaids in other projects in this collection, and I do love it.
So for those of you who don't know, this is a buffalo plaid.
Yeah.
So it's very directional. So visually, if she had, cut them off a little bit, it might have caught your eye. So good thinking, good planning there.
Yeah, so I worked on this quilt in rows of 4. And basically how the construction goes is once you have 4 rows laid out and you like how the colors are laid out, you start at the top and sew one square to another square to another, and so on and so forth till you have a long row. You do that again till you have a second row, and then you sew the 2 together. But before you sew the 2 rows together, you want to make sure that you've ironed the first row, all the seams to the left, the second row, all the seams to the right, and then when you go to sew the 2 rows together, your seams nest together beautifully and you end up with a very flat quilt.
So you're alternating the bulks.
Yeah, so the
one
bulk
side
is,
and the other.
Exactly,
Yeah.
so my quilt is left, right, ironed, left, right, left, right, left, right, all the way down, and it lays really flat. So that's really a good tip there. And
of course, when you look at a quilt like this, I'm glad that you brought up the AccuQuilt, because it is kind of, when you see all these squares, you think, oh my God, that's it's a lot of work, right?
So,
if you're going to cut them.
Yes.
But you layered.
I did.
And you're going to do a demonstration on that.
I'm going to demo to you that it took hardly any time cutting.
And I tell you, it's worth it. To me, when she brought in this quilt, and she sent me pictures as the quilt was progressing, and I was like, oh,
whoa.
Whoa. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Anybody would love to get this quilt.
Yeah, so 2 more things before we go into demo time. How did I decide how big I wanted this quilt? It's about 60 by 80, and the deciding factor was my husband laying on the floor next to it and saying it's not long enough yet. So
I can just picture him laying there and his feet sticking out.
I was like, Stephen, I don't want to sew 4 more rows, but I did because it wasn't long enough. So you have to do what's right for you, and who's receiving it, and is it going to be a throw or is it going to be a bed quilt? I ended up with a 60 by 80 quilt because it was the right size for us.
Right, and that's what's so nice about making your own. You can custom cut and fit to Stephen's size.
Exactly. And one more thing, she was talking about the workload. I did this in 1 week after work. I came home from work, worked on it for about 2 hours every night, and at the end of the week, I had this quilt top. So it's a fun project to work on after work. It's pretty repetitive.
I remember, though, you did say to me at one point, I wish you were here to help me, and I said, I wish too, because it looks like such a bright project.
It is. It's a lot of sewing, a lot of piecing.
It was a lot of sewing, so if you're a mother and daughter or you have a granddaughter, it's a nice project to share because it's all the same kind of stitching, right?
Yeah.
Pretty basic, pretty easy.
Very basic.
It's an easy project.
Basic sewers, you can do this.
Yes.
Let's get to demo time. So for this demonstration today, I'm going to be using the value die. The value die is a very popular die that we sell many of because it comes with different shapes on it that you'll use a lot. There's actually blades beneath this foam, and when the die engages with the machine, the blades come out and cut your fabric. So I'm going to show you how that works. It's super cool, super fast, and super precise. And so let's go ahead and look at this die here. I only want to cut this square. This is a 4.5-inch square. It'll work beautifully for this pattern as well. I have fan folded my fabric so that there's 8 layers here. AccuQuilt advertises that there's 6 layers that you can cut through, but I said, let me push the limits. I really want to get to sewing. So I'm going to cut through 8 layers, and it usually cuts through 7 of them just fine. So I'm just covering the square. I don't want these shapes, so I'm not going to cut them. I'm going to put a fabric mat over it. This is one of the items you will have to replace over time. And then I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to push the die through the machine, and we're going to wait for the magic to happen. AccuQuilt has a lot of wonderful videos on their website. They have a lot of free patterns. This machine would be a wonderful Christmas gift because there's so much you can do with it.
There you go.
Okay, thanks, Mom. This is, of course, is the electronic one. It's the biggest one. There are 2 smaller sizes of AccuQuilt cutting machines that have a crank on them. So you would crank the die through.
And they have hundreds of different dies. They keep adding and adding and adding. So they have a huge selection. Wow, look at that.
Okay,
oh my gosh.
So here are my lovely squares. They're perfectly cut. And now I can get to laying out my plus sign. So here's a nice visual for you.
It's very satisfying, isn't it?
It's very therapeutic.
Yeah, it is.
It's actually really fun to lay out this quilt.
So just like that, you've got a beautiful plus.
Okay.
Quick and easy.
Quick and easy.
And we were going to talk about the other sizes.
Yes.
Because according to who you're making this for, or what you want to do, you want proportion,
Or
maybe
what
you're
you
making
already own.
or what you already own. That's
For
a good
example,
point.
if you own this die, I would use that square
Right.
to cut the fabrics for your quilt.
Right, but we do have other sizes.
Yes, we have, what do we have here?
Because you may have one of these sizes already. So this is 4.5-inch finished square.
Yes.
So this is the 5-inch.
This is the charm pack size. A lot of you own this as well. This would be, you know, if you want to cut a 5-inch square, it'll be 4.5-inch finished.
And then there's this one, so another size.
A smaller one.
So again, you know, it's up to you. These would all work for this pattern.
Right. So
So
we're
to
going to
speak.
link all the sizes of squares that we feel would be applicable to the plus sign quilt for AccuQuilt. And if you don't own one, so you can certainly rotary cut your squares as well.
Sure.
Just choose a size and make sure you're accurate with the size.
Or you can buy a charm pack.
Yeah,
right?
or charm
if you have
packs.
charm packs or
I'd say to get at least 4 of them to make a decent size quilt throw, maybe.
yeah, for the packs.
4
of
charm packs.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
4 sets.
Yeah. So great demo. Thanks, Kelsey.
No problem.
That was easy.
Okay, so let's talk about yardage.
I think you should get all of them.
I
love
agree.
it. I would not omit one piece out of here.
I agree, but in all seriousness, you need to get at least half a yard of 14 different ones here to make a quilt like this and have the nice variety.
Yeah, you need the diversity and the breakup of the. She's done a great job of breaking up all kinds of different shapes, sizes, and.
Now, a half yard is the minimum. I got a yard of each one because, first of all, they're so luxurious. When I think of flannel, I think it's hot and stiff and furry. But this flannel is actually lightweight. Of course, it's 100% cotton.
It's very good quality.
It's made by Free Spirit, so the quality is high. It's very, very nice. So let's take a look at the yardage here. We have a couple of different styles, of course the buffalo plaids. What I did with some of my leftover white buffalo plaid was make a pair of sleep shorts. These sleep shorts derive from Quick Sew pattern 3345, and I cut them shorter because I like flannel, but not too much flannel here in Florida, right? So there's an idea for that.
So you customize the Quick Sew to how
Yes.
you like it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the beauty of being able to sew.
sew.
And make,
Yeah. And then, of course, how classic is a red buffalo plaid stocking. And as you can see here, the buffalo plaid comes in 3 different colors, and I love this color just the same. I just haven't done anything with it. And I also want to show you, while we're looking at the fabric, that, because I'm looking at the stocking, by the way, stockings are a very beginner project, and there's many free tutorials online, you can have one like this complete in less than an hour. They're very simple to make and very fun.
Well, it's a good way of using up your scraps too. So if you
Yes.
overbuy a little bit, I always say get enough fabric for what you want to do. If you overbuy a little bit, because you want to make sure that you have enough, right, to make your quilt. We have ideas for projects. You'll always use it up in something, whether it's making a pillow, making a stocking. And one thing that got me really excited, which is what you're just going to talk about right now, is
embroidery.
Oh my gosh, machine embroidery.
So while we're on the topic of yardage, if you want to have all the fun like I did, I would recommend getting at least a yard of the ones that you love so that you have enough fabric to have fun. So one of the things that really excited me was, first of all, Tula Pink does Tula Tuesdays on her social media, and I tune in every Tuesday because she talks about what's coming out, what's new, her products. And one Tula Tuesday, I saw that she has embroidery designs with OESD. So I went onto OESD's website and I was able to buy the whole entire embroidery pack for $19.99.
Woohoo!
So you get Buck and Gus and Ryan in digital embroidery designs.
And who doesn't want them?
Yeah,
They're
so let's take a look.
Cute.
So here's what I did. This is on a Kimberbell blank. And you're like, what is a Kimberbell blank? Well, Pat has one here.
I'm here ready to show you, because I told Kelsey, you know, we have a lot of Kimberbell products. It's extremely popular brand. They do great embroidery designs, great products, but you don't have to embroider it with a Kimberbell design, right? So we have these great little pouches. Let me have your pouch back.
Yes.
That is finished. And they come ready to embroider. So in other words, it's got the zipper in. So we don't like to put zippers in, right? And so it's ready so that you can put it in your hoop, embroider it out, and then you very easily, and of course it brings instructions in the pack, you very easily just take this, once you've got it embroidered, you can embroider both sides. Some of these designs are nice for guys too, right? And of course these come in different colors, which I can show you in a second. So once you've got it embroidered, you would pretty much go like this, stitch around it, leave a space, turn it inside out, and you've got this really nice little pouch all finished and ready to go.
Right.
So that's one of the ideas. I would definitely, if I was going to get this. And the other thing, Kelsey, when I was looking at these designs, I thought, if you really got inspired, which I love to carry things on and add and embellish, these to me scream out for a little bit of embroidery. I see like a blank canvas here and here. So wouldn't it be cute to embroider or personalize something on those? And especially when it's part of the collection, I know you want to show the goose.
Pairing together the idea of creating your own stocking, you can also embroider on your own stocking. These are some of the designs that are included in the OESD. Here's another embroidery design.
Love it, love it,
and
love it.
idea. Embroider on canvas and frame it. Oh my gosh, I love that.
So now that you bring that up, when I saw Kelsey holding that, I thought, oh my gosh, this is another idea. Just a quick idea for a gift or to decorate your home at Christmas. This is like a blank canvas. You all know blank canvas from your art and craft supply store. You can get these in value packs now. They come in all different sizes. You could embroider on a piece of canvas, which I've done before, or you could embroider on one of the flannels and then just wrap it over and staple it on your blank canvas, and you've got a really pretty picture to hang on your wall. And these come, I was just looking at them yesterday, they come in smaller sizes, so it would be really cute. And again, it's a nice addition if you make the quilt for somebody, you make a stocking, and then you have a picture to go with it, just a seasonal picture to hang on your wall, or a collection of them. So I mean, it's endless what you can do with this. I know.
I hope we're not overwhelming you, but we went crazy.
Yeah, we did, because we love it, right?
I've got a couple more ideas for the embroiderers. Put it on a tank top. And then also you could embroider canvas, put it in a hoop, and use it as a decoration like that as well. So, do you want to get the other Kimberbell blanks to show everybody what color they come in?
I have them here.
And then while she's getting those, as if we have not shown you enough, Free Spirit has come out with 4 different quilt patterns. The first one is Holidays with Our Homies. This one's good for an experienced beginner, and it's a 59-inch square. The needs are listed, and we're gonna provide the PDF so that you can, order what you need. Oh, Hanging Out with My Homies. Get it? The ornaments. This one, the techniques involve fussy cutting, piecing, and quilting, so you should be an experienced quilter. It's intermediate level. And let's keep looking. Ooh, I love how this one features the buffalo plaids. Cozy and warm. It's a beginner skill level and requires beginner piecing, quilting, and quilt construction. Last, Merry and Bright. This one's intermediate skill level. It does require some fussy cutting, piecing, and quilting. So really, really, really amazing quilt patterns available to us for free.
Great assortment of different quilt patterns. So here we go. Here's a variety. The pouch that I was just showing you, this, that opens up for your machine embroidery. Comes in a variety of pretty fall colors, and also 2 sizes, right, Kelsey?
Right, 6 by 8 and 7 by 10.
And this one is the one that you embroidered. This one is
the smaller one.
The smaller size.
Yep.
So, oh, he's so cute. I would never think of doing Christmas balls in a stripe. But anyway, so I had a great time filming this video with you, Kelsey.
Yes.
Loved it. We hope you love this collection like we did.
Yes.
And get excited about it.
Yes. Oh, I have one more project over here.
Oh, wait, there's one more. Oh my gosh, how could we not?
This is for our viewing pleasure. I found this blog post on Pinterest as well, and the pieces didn't all come out. It didn't fit. The puzzle didn't fit when I put it together, but you know what? It's okay. It's made by me, and it was made with love. And what I love most about it is that I got to fussy cut Gus and Ryan, and that's the third guy's name.
It is beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful.
So I'll hold it up.
Let's hold it up. I'll hold the other side. And here we go.
So we've got the free patterns for you. This is just one that I made one day. And I really hope that you enjoy this and you're inspired by Holiday Homies and that you stuck with me. And everything is available in store or on sewing.net. And remember, there's an extra special discount code as well that we're going to provide you with. And have a great day.
Bye.